Welcome back to your cariboudatascience channel. This is the evening of March the 22nd, 2021. I'm going to take a look at another Tidyverse package. This is called Tidystats. Okay, so I will mention this is going to be a brief introduction. I'm not going to try to explain the output from the stats. I just want to show you some of the functionality within Tidyverse, within Tidystats. Of course, because it is part of Tidyverse, it means you can pass the output from one function to another function using the pipe commands. Okay, that's the whole point of Tidyverse. So let's do this. Let's start with a couple favorites. Okay, scales, dplyr, tidyr, tidystats. Okay, so first of all, let's just take a look at the man page. So we can look here, Tidystats X. Okay, Tidystats is used to compute the output of a statistical object to a list of organized statistics. The Tidystats function is automatically run when an add stats is used. So there's generally no need to use the function explicitly. Usage, Tidystats, okay, htest, okay. Let's see if we can find an example code down here. So what do we got here? We're going to do a sleep test. Then we're going to do linear regression, looks like. So is there data for let's do this. Let's get rid of this. So H-test, linear regression stats, GLM, ANOVA, AOVA. So we got lots and lots of things here, right? G-test. What happens if we run this? Let's run this up here first. Oh, nice. So this did this. So let's go ahead and put this over here then. So it creates a record called sleep test. Okay, again, I don't know what this means, so don't ask. Okay, okay. So we got this. So we got the result of a sleep test. Okay, now we'll do a linear regression model. Okay, so what is sleep test? Paired t-test. Okay, so that's one thing. Let's come back down here now. And do the second function. So what does this do then? This creates looks like two vectors. It goes GL to perform groups, it looks like. They're actually a GL function. generate factor levels. So this is part of the package. This is actually part of base. Okay. Factors, weight, control. Again, two values here. So you're going to put these two into a weighted thing. Then we're going to do a linear regression here. Okay. What does this look like? All right. So let's do this. Let's do a So let's try this again. Okay, so now we get some nice linear regression, weight group, minimums, residuals, coefficients, residual standards. Let's come back up here and do a summary back up here also. Okay, so we got this. Now what we want to do is I'll come back over here, do an ANOVA. Let's do another summary here. NPK ANOVA. So once again, the squared is the means, the value of p squared, the p square. Okay. Tidy the statistics and store each analysis in a separate variable. Okay. Let's just come down here now. Let's get rid of this here. Let's just put it up here. Okay. Always make sure you got a function underneath there. Okay. So now let's run this. Sleep test, Tidystats, sleep test. Okay. So now let's produce another summary test here. So we're calling the Tidystats function on this backup here. Okay, good. Now we got stats. Now what do we do? And then we do this. Now again, the advantage to using anything. So here we see a package, equal names, method, paired t-test, so forth. I'm sure you know much. I'm sure these numbers mean a lot more to you than they do to me. Okay. Okay. So again, the purpose of Tidyverse is okay. We should have been able to do this, right? You know, we can do this, and you can use the pipe function to pass the numbers from one function to another. That's the purpose of Tidyverse. As you recall, the pipe function is this right here. Okay. So would it be possible to plot something? Well, I'm not really sure. Okay, that's not really my thing. So let's come back over here then. Let's say Tidystats, Introduction to Tidystats. Let's take a look at some R code here. Okay, library init options digits 3, load Tidystats, load dplyr. Group. Okay, so this is the first part of the function. So let's come back over here and let's use Tidystats here. Okay, what do I do to get here? So again, we'll come back over to Introduction Analysis, Tidystats. I'll come over here. Introduction to Tidystats. Okay. Tidystats. Got it. Control Alt Delete. Now let's take a look at the source code over here. For this bit of fun, we're going to just take this whole code and paste it into one chunk. Okay. Now let's take a look here. We've already got these two, and we already got these two installed, so we don't need those. Okay. So now, data Tidystats equals quote source. False. Data grouped by source. So what is where is that? So what is? Let's just run this right here and see exact. Let's just run this. You've already got knitter installed, right? Yes. Okay, so we don't need uh, knitter. That's already installed. Let's go and put digits back up here. Let's leave it out here. Okay. So the question is, what is this function right here? What is the data? So source, bin Laden, sex, citizenship, race, major, so forth. So I'm not quite sure what this is. It doesn't have anything to do with, does that have to do with wages? Okay, good. Okay. So what happens here is we're going to load some chunks, we're going to load some data. We're going to come down, it's going to create a group based on group by source. Okay. Describe data, response short, do a t-test, do a linear regression one, linear regression. Okay. Now it actually doesn't look like if they're actually using Tidy Tuesday, but that's okay. Then we're going to do a linear regression number 2. Then we're going to create an empty list to store the analysis in. Okay. Add the analysis, statistics. This is a function. So what's this do? What's this little function do here? Add stats. So here it says add statistical output to Tidystats list. Add stats is used to add the output of the statistical test to the Tidystats list. While adding the output, additional information about the test can be added. Okay. Add stats, t-test. Add stats. What are we adding here? Linear regression model US or not. Pre-registered. Again, I'm not sure what all this is. So now let's just come up here, just run this and see if it'll actually run for us. Okay, if we come back up here, run this. Let's try this again now. Not found. Oh, I don't know. Let's try something here. That's just even though knit_r is loaded up there, okay? Now I did create a bunch of stats, okay? Okay. Here's the summary stats: p-values, the linear regression model, the residuals, uh, the intercepts, source, residual error 2.6. So that's one. Uh, that's one function. Okay. Read and use a Tidystats file. So now we're going to add a second thing down here. Okay. And we're going to run this second chunk over here. Hopefully this is something different. Okay, so this is the second function. Once again, linear regression, ANOVA method. All these are there. So we don't actually. What's the source? The purpose of Tidystats is to. Okay. So now we come back over here. We can look at something like this: tidy matrix, Tidystats, ANOVA. Some of these things. See if we can find something that may be helpful, maybe more descriptive. Okay, so let's try this. You can see we got all this stuff here. Okay, but let's change this to a summary. Let's run this from the top and see exactly what we got here, shall we? Sleep test. Some coefficients, excellent standard. Okay. linear regressions. So the question is, how do you plot a linear regression? This is a nice table, as is this one here. Compare t-test, linear regression, nova, nova, nova. Okay, good. Although interesting enough, we haven't actually seen list this observations, results DF, control group, quote source, read stats, tidy matrix, Tidystats. Interesting enough, it didn't actually show you how to how to plot the data. So basically, you now see how like I say, this was intended to be a very brief introduction to Tidystats, and it is brief, I think. Uh, 21 minutes, yeah, it's brief. All I did is you see, I just went through and I ran some of the sample code, and it produced some very good, useful, some very standard statistical models, including linear regression models and stuff like that. Here you can see paired. This is going to do a paired analysis. Okay, so this is the t-test. You don't have paired true data sleep groups, extra groups, and so you can see here. You who have studied statistics, all this data makes sense to you. But I just want to give you a very brief introduction of how to use the different of how to actually what the package does. A very a bird's eye view, if you will. I mean, as you can see here, as always, you want to find out exactly what functions are available. You can do Tidystats, okay, and then come down to here. First of all, we ran this code down and then go to index, and you can see all the built-in functions here, okay. So that concludes this brief introduction to Tidystats. Hope you find this. I hope you're encouraged enough to actually use this package. Okay. Thanks so much for your time. We'll catch you on a later report.